if you could give us some tips, especially for somebody who's maybe micromanaging or doesn't trust their team, give me a couple of tips on where they can start to try and get better.
Yeah, so I think the first thing I always like to establish is you're never going to get the day exactly right that you're supposed to start outsourcing, right? Everyone's always like, oh, when's the right time to outsource? You're not going to nail it on the day. You're either going to do it too early or you're going to do it too late. It's going to be one or the other. You just have to pick which one you want. And there's pros and cons to each, just like anything else. If you start too early, you're spending money maybe before you need it. Like I hired a bookkeeper before we even had revenue. It was something that I knew I wanted to have a bookkeeper for 5 hours a month to be on top of our numbers. And if it didn't work out, then I paid for that month. And depending on where you are in your business or your life, that money may not matter. Then if you're going too late, there's just an opportunity cost that you miss by doing the stuff in your day-to-day operations instead of growing your business. So you got to pick one or the other. The average entrepreneur just loves to add stuff to their plate over and over and forgets to delegate. And what I encourage people to do is to set up a 90-day rule where you're not doing any repetitive tasks longer than 90 days without delegating it. And that doesn't mean you have to delegate it to someone full time. You can hire someone for an hour a week, 5 hours a month, 10 hours a week, whatever you want. But that first month, you're throwing stuff against the wall. You're seeing what's working. You're seeing what doesn't work. That second month, you have a pretty good idea of what doesn't work, and you're starting to create some SOPs. Maybe you start interviewing a VA. You hire them by the end of the month. That third month, you onboard them, get them going, train them, iron out the kinks, and then it's off your plate. And if you're consistently taking something, turning it into a process, delegating it, taking something else, that's how you scale a business. That's how you grow.
Okay. So what for the people that hold on to things? So I have lots of clients and they're usually like, so I get that, but by the time I upload the video, I could have just edited it faster and blah, blah, blah. We have all of the head junk around all that. So tell me more about what you say to that.
Yeah, I mean, that whole mindset, like it's faster to just do it myself. Like I always just cringe a little bit whenever I hear it. I'm sure you do too, because it's such like short-term thinking. Like, yes, you're going to have to make a short-term investment. You're not just going to snap your fingers and have a VA ready to go that reads your mind, but it's for the long-term gain. And it's all about relocating hours. How do I take 5 hours a week and move it from day-to-day repetitive to revenue driving? Or if you're someone that works 80 hours a week, how do I move that 5 hours a week from day-to-day to spending more time with my family, whatever it is? So for me, create a list of everything you do on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. Put down, hey, this takes 5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is per week. Prioritize it from easiest to hardest. I personally prioritize it by things I hate doing the most. That's just where I am as an entrepreneur right now, but I don't recommend starting that way. I would start with the easiest thing and focus on just a small amount of hours. How do I relocate them? And let's say you hire a VA for 5 hours a week to take customer service emails off your plate. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to improve your process, your systems. You're going to hopefully build trust with that VA. And once you trust a VA and they take that stuff off your plate, that's when it becomes addicting. That's when you're like, oh my God, let's take this next thing off and next thing off. But you got to start small. And even now, like with Free Up, we didn't just wake up one day and hire 35 full-time VAs. We started small and built it up. And with Outsource School, like I have a bookkeeper for 5 hours a month. We're about to increase our hours because we just ran a good Mother's Day sale and now we can do that. And then with Anna, who's my assistant, she started off at 10, then went to 20, and now we're building her up to full-time. So we're doing the same thing. You don't have to dive in and hire everyone for 40 hours a week.
That's a really big point, especially when you have the cash and the experience and you still didn't even hire full time. You weren't like, yes, I know I hate all this stuff. So therefore, you're still building her up based on the revenue, which I think is important.